After spending almost 3 weeks here in the Marquesas Island, we decided it was time for us to set sail again, and now we were going to the Tuamotus Island, the dangerous archipelago. So we fueled up and went to Daniel's Bay to look for our good friends Bob and Mary Lou on Gallivant and Rick and Janice on Star Passage. Without the chart, I would never have guessed that there was actually a very sheltered bay behind those cliffs. But when we got in, wow, it was beautiful. It was very calm inside and very beautiful. And if it wasn't that we really wanted to keep company with Gallivant and Star Passage, we would probably have stayed another day or two. The Tuamotus, also referred to as the dangerous archipelago because of all the reefs, currents and tide. Well, there is a large chain of almost 80 islands and atolls, forming the largest chain of atolls in the whole world. This archipelago in the southern Pacific Ocean stretches from the northwest to the southeast over an area roughly the size of Western Europe. And now we're heading towards Rangiroa. During the 582 nautical mile long sail from Nukuhiva to Rangiroa, we experienced beautiful weather in the day, some calm night, but also quite squally weather in the nights. It was fantastic to sail together with another Amel, and we and Gallivant kept each other company all the way. We just managed to sail into the atoll before the waves in the pass was too big and steep. But we came in and we anchored outside the beautiful luxury resort of Kia Ora Hotel. Wow! Here people pay like $1,000 to $1,500 a night to stay, and we anchored for free. We swam in the same water and we could take a drink in the same bar. After a couple of days at sea, it's always nice that first evening to take a cool shower, dress up a little bit, take the dinghy ashore with your friends to enjoy a tropical drink. Me, myself, I love the pina coladas. Rangiroa was absolutely like paradise. The water was crystal clear and turquoise blue. It was fantastic. So we decided to stay a little while, and together with our friends, we made different excursions. One day we went to the pearl farm. That was very interesting. If you ever wonder why pearls are so expensive, you should make a tour to one of these pearl farms. It's a lot of work. Rangiroa Atoll is very big inside. You cannot actually see from one side to the other. Star Passage, Gallivant and Ultimo decided one day to hire a speedboat to go to the Blue Lagoon. Oh gosh, that was beautiful. Our tour guide, Emmanuel, took us safely through the shallow water. Oh my gosh, you can't sneak in here, can you? It was so shallow that we had to walk quite a distance to the actual island, and we were dragging an icebox with the food behind us. But look at it, it's gorgeous. Så krabborna klättrar upp i träden. Jag kan se, de håller på där. De äter utav löven. Wow. Cool. är ganska stor nedanför där.
Duktig att klättra.
Ja. Duktig att klättra med det där klumpiga skalet.
Det väger ju lite grann ändå.
Emmanuel took us to a walk through the Birds Island. Since Emmanuel and his cousin are the only ones coming to this island with tourists, the birds are almost tame. They were not afraid of us at all, and we could easily take close-up pictures. After taking the walk around the island, the short snorkeling in the lagoon, we were all getting very hungry, and Emmanuel, he prepared the food. He barbecued chicken and fish, and he also started baking bread. Oh man, it smelled so good.
What are you cooking? Coconut bread. Coconut bread.
Coconut bread. Okay.
Voila.
Okay.
When Emmanuel started to clean up, all the little baby sharks came to see if there was something for them to eat. After this tasty and delicious lunch, we all walked through the water out to the little pink island. All things comes to an end, and so also this beautiful day out in the blue lagoon. And we're all heading back to the boat for a long trip back with the speedboat. But what a day, we all enjoyed it. All three boats left Rangiroa at slack water around 8 in the morning. It turned out to be a beautiful day of sailing for a couple of hours. Then suddenly it became something totally different for us on Ultimo. Around noon we were hit by this big squall, and after the squall the wind died down and we started the engine. After a couple of minutes, Connie sensed the smell of smoke, opened the engine hatch, and suddenly black smoke was bursting out of the engine room, and Connie shouted, "Fire!" I think my heart stopped. I was down below at the time, but Connie jumped up and turned off the engine key, and thank God I think he saved us, because the fire went out and he could disconnect and locate this alternator that caused the fire. I called our buddy boats on the VHF and told them what happened to us, and they were so kind. They dropped a sail, waited for us, and then sailed along our side all the way to Tahiti to make us feel safe and secure. Thank you guys for the support that made a world of difference to us. The next morning we arrived in Tahiti, Papeete. Så här kommer Videon galant och vi har flygplatsen ligger här. Så man måste fråga om lov innan man får passera landningsbanans norra och södra del. Och vi har precis fått lov att passera den norra. Så här borta så kommer jag att ropa upp och begära lov om att få passera den södra. Så här kommer vi. Och här kommer vi. Och här kan flyget komma.
Ultimo, Papeete på kontroll.
Papeete på kontroll, Ultimo.
Okay, you have permission to proceed.
Thank you. When I was a kid, I had a shampoo called Tahiti. It was a picture on the side of the bottle from Tahiti in the sunset. Oh my God, that was the most exotic place I could ever think of. And now we sailed here. Pinch me. And as in most French countries, the food is fabulous. So we all went to the market for some shopping.
Hi, tuna. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hello. Happy month. Oh yeah. Happy
So the six of us rented a car together and went on to find signs of perhaps the most famous sea captain of all times, James Cook. On the 3rd of June 1769, Captain Cook, together with Joseph Banks, a British naturalist, and the astronomer Charles Green, also with the Swedish naturalist Daniel Solander, recorded the transit of Venus on the island of Tahiti. It feels a bit thrilling that we are standing here on this spot where Captain Cook actually worked and lived, and looking out in the bay where he had his ship anchored. A little more than 200 years later. Fantastic feeling, and great respect for that man. This was Mum's Day, both here and as in Sweden, and we couldn't find anywhere to have lunch because you need a reservation on the smallest restaurant around the island. We had a very nice dinner planned for the evening, but still we were very hungry. And when we passed this little tent, there were some young guys waving at us. And when we stopped, they told us they could help us out by barbecuing some chicken. Oh man, we were happy. Oh, that lunch tasted so good. And all our blood sugar also came to the right level. We even fed this hungry dog. We found this surfboard on dry land and thought, well, maybe this is adventurous enough for this day, so we all tried it out. Well, let's say that some of us had a little bit more vivid imagination than the others. So it was time for us to split up. Well, Bob and Mary Lou had to haul out Gallivant in Raiatea and go back to the US. Rick and Janice, they sailed on in French Polynesia before they headed north to Hawaii and back to San Francisco. And we stayed behind waiting for spare parts. But before we split up, we had a schnapps evening with singing songs and let the guys try schnapps for the first time. Well, it will be a memory forever.
Start singing. Start
Excellent.
I can see that.
Start singing. Yeah.
Where's that song?
Thank you all for a wonderful time together. And who knows, maybe in the future our courses will cross again. And until then, fair winds.
It's just